Hey, what's up? I thought I would do a little walkthrough of my Maverick HPXS today. So before we jump into the walkthrough, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about why I choose this particular model. This is the Maverick HPXS. The S stands for shallow. And for me, guiding full-time, it's a perfect complement to the Pathfinder 2300 HPS that I also guide out of. Being that this is the shallowest boat that Maverick makes, it drafts about 6 inches, a little less, a little more depending on how it's weighted, but that allows me to get into areas that I couldn't ever get in before in any of the other skiffs I've ever owned. We have some negative low tides that I'm sure you've seen where you can't get into little creek mouths and you can't get into certain flats. With this boat, it's very hard to find a place that you can't get into. And aside from that, it pulls really easy. It runs ultra skinny. I mean, it almost runs like an airboat. So all that stuff in mind, that's some of the reasons I guide out of this boat. And the reason that I like guiding out of this boat so much is how dry it is and how well it rides for such a shallow drafting boat. You know, it's got these giant spray rails here that keep you really dry, and it does have a nice little V in the front. So if it gets real choppy, you can just tab it down, and it actually really will impress you how good it rides for a 6-inch draft boat. So we'll start from the front and kind of work back here. I've got a casting platform installed on the front of this boat. I actually have it permanently installed, so it's actually through bolted into the deck. And the reason I did that is because in previous skiffs, and pretty much my whole guiding career, once I put these on the boat, I generally don't take them off. And this boat, if I'm using it, it's usually because we're sight fishing, and having this platform up here and letting somebody stand on it, that gives you that little bit better perspective, a little bit more height. And it's just more secure this way rather than having the turnbuckle. And I like the clean look of it as well. So it's something they can do at the factory, and I just think it looks really cool. There's a theme to a lot of this stuff. It's functional, but it has to look cool. I mean, if it doesn't look cool, what's the point, right? So on top of the casting platform here, also on the pulling platform and under the gunnels, I've got Castaway Customs has made some custom sea deck for me. It's got the Maverick logo, and it's got kind of the faux teak look. Again, it just looks awesome, but it's really functional, super comfortable. It stays cool in the hot sun, and it doesn't wear. I mean, this is real durable stuff. So I've used it on a lot of my boats, and I'm gonna continue to use it. And again, that's sea deck from Castaway Customs. All right, so also on the front of the boat, I have my Rodan trolling motor. This is a 24-volt system. A lot of guys on these small boats do 12-volt, but we have crazy currents here in Northeast Florida, so I did a 24-volt, and I'll get to the batteries a little bit later, but this works really nice for me. I also offset it here on the front, and that allows me to keep this permanently mounted platform all the way to the front of the boat, which is what I prefer because I feel like the boat balances better having the platform and your angler all the way up here in the front. Another benefit of having it side mounted is when you have it deployed and you're back there using the remote, you can see which way the head's facing and your angler's not in the way of the trolling motor. So all that stuff being said, this is also super easy to take on and off. When I have fly fishermen, I generally take this off. It's got a quick release, and then I've got a deck fitting here that I can take the cord out, and it all becomes very nice and flush. So functional and easy to use. Push pole holders, these are from V Marine. I've put these on all my skiffs probably for the last 6-7 years. I just think they look really cool, but they work well too. They take up a little bit of a smaller footprint than the traditional push pole holders. And when you have the pull off of there and your toe runs into that, which I'm sure people have done before, it doesn't feel very good. This is a little smoother, so it's not gonna get you quite as bad, but it just looks cool. And yeah, it's from V Marine. Those are the push pole holders. All right, so here's the console of this boat. I chose the taller console. There's a couple different options that you can get. The reason I like this setup for me is because when I have clients sitting on this seat, I think it's great to have this backrest. It's really comfortable. And then the cooler, I color match the cooler to the rest of the boat. And this cooler is great. Maverick makes it, and it holds ice as long as anything else that I've ever had. And again, this is just a comfortable setup for people to be able to sit there and when the boat's riding along. So here's the other side of the console. I've got a Garmin GPS map XSV. This is the 10-inch model. I felt like it fit really nice there in that spot. This is another reason I like this taller console. You can flush mount your electronics, so you don't have to worry about any water or anything getting on the back of that, or people grabbing it which I've had an issue with on other boats. So it secures the electronics really nice. You got your typical stuff here. This is for the jack plate, your power pole remote, your Yamaha gauge. Pretty basic setup there. Now I did go with the Edson Marine blackout wheel. I just think it looks cool. It matches the powder coating that I have on the rest of the metal of the boat. My battery setup on this skiff. I have 3 batteries in here, which I know some people are probably thinking it's a lot of batteries for an ultra lightweight skiff, but really it's not. On this boat, I'm using the Relion lithium-ion batteries. They're tiny batteries for one, so they all fit in the console there, but they're also ultra lightweight. These things weigh less than half of what a comparable wet cell battery would weigh. So what that allows me to do is now I have a 24-volt trolling motor with the weight of a 12-volt. So that's you can't beat these lithium batteries. These are from Relion, and I've had nothing but great luck with them. So here we are at the seat, the Helm seat. You know, this is a standard seat, but I also did a backrest on this boat. It's just comfortable. I mean, you can be laid back cruising and just lean into this. It's nice to have. But the other thing back here is the powder coating. So you can do a shiny powder coating or this matte powder coating. I did the matte on this boat. It's cool, it doesn't show water spots. I've got boat OCD, as a lot of people know, so water spots, I don't like those. So this makes that a little bit easier, but I did it on all the metal. Just, I think the contrast between that and the gray and white just looks really cool. I think the two-tone on the deck just looks really awesome. This is actually Kingston gray is the color I went with, which is a custom color now. But the two-tone's just cool. It's an option you can get. You can get it all white. You can get any color. You can make the non-skid a color and the slicks a different color. So there's all kinds of different stuff you can do, but I like the contrast. I think it looks great. So now back here to the power. You know, this is the Yamaha F70, perfect motor for this boat. I mean, that's pretty much the only motor that's gonna come with this boat. Great power. The boat actually goes, I've had it up to almost 40 miles an hour. So 40 miles an hour on an almost 18-foot long skiff with a 70, that's pretty impressive. The torque is great on this as well. And like I talked about before, how shallow this thing runs, it's pretty incredible. You're gonna wanna mount it on a jack plate so you can bring it way up. And I mean, the most reliable motor there is, Yamaha, can't beat it. All right, so this goes without being said, you gotta have a power pole on a skiff. I mean, there's no reason not to. Everything about the power pole is great. Of course, super easy anchoring. This is the 6-foot model, the Pro Series 2. I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's one of the greatest tools that have been put on a skiff in the last 20 years. I couldn't have a boat without it. So 6-foot power pole on this boat. I use 8-foot power poles on the bay boat. And, you know, customer service is second to none with these guys. And like I said, I couldn't imagine having the boat without it. Here we go, here's the trailer. The Maverick trailer, the Mac Daddy of all trailers. This one in particular is pimped out. I've got it powder coated black. I've got C-Deck from Castaway Customs on here. They put the logos in. I've had Ameritrails on quite a few different boats for many years, and every single one of them has impressed me. This one's no different. Makes it super easy to dry launch the boat. Up here in the front, a couple little details that I add on. I put the Fulton F2 jack. It's just easy to push the boat around. It's so light that, you know, you can push this boat around with one hand through the driveway. Back here in the back, I also did stainless steel fenders. I just think the stainless steel fenders look cool. They hold up really nicely. Also did a little bit more C-Deck with the Maverick logo there from Castaway Customs. It's got the LED lights on it. It actually has reverse backup lights on the back of the trailer, which is also a nice little addition to the trailer. But if you're thinking about a trailer, whether it be for a Maverick or anything else, look up the guys at Ameritrail. They're awesome at everything they do, and their trailers are the best in the business. All right, so that's the Maverick HPXS. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and send them to me. I'm gonna be here answering them for you for the day about the boat or about fishing in general. I'll be happy to answer them. I'll do another video on the Pathfinder Bay boat, the 2300 HPS, probably in a couple weeks. And again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.